Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to connect with us and continue to learn about how to master your robot cloud. Today's hosts, my name is Kat. I'm the Client Relationship Manager here at Forget Computers. With me today is one of our amazing robot cloud admins, Nathan Ramseth.
Hey, everyone.
And then we also have our CEO and founder, Ben Greiner, on the phone as well to help with moderating questions.
That's right. I'll try not to say too much. I'll just be lurking in the background. Thank you, Kat.
No problem. So this is today's agenda. We're just going to do a quick introduction to our team, quickly recap last month's webinar, which was on dashboard, have an overview of JSS access, also known as site access, and then we're going to dive into a demo that Nathan's going to present. And then at the very end, we'll have some time for Q&A. So a little about us. A little about our company. We're located in the beautiful South Loop of Chicago. We've been supporting Macs in the Chicagoland area since 1998. We're partners with JAMF Software as our robot cloud is engined by the Casper suite. We're also certified by Apple Inc. and part of their consultant network. A lot of people, don't know this, but we're also app developers. Specifically, the apps we've developed are enhancements to the Casper suite and can be purchased to enhance your own Casper if you're hosting your own, or they're already included in your robot cloud if you're using robot cloud. You'll see the logos above. We have our Robot Cloud support menu that's used to streamline communication between IT and end users. Our Robot Cloud Actions logo for our automation tasks. And at the very end, our dashboard, which I'm going to quickly recap. And again, this was last month's webinar. So dashboard is a clean and sophisticated way to get an overview of your Apple devices. For Robot Cloud clients, there's a built-in alerting system to alert you to problem areas or critical issues that you'll see in your dashboard. And dashboard's great. It allows you to take inventory of your devices, get access to vitals, device information such as battery life, warranty information. You can see if the device is encrypted and make sure devices are checking into your system. It's easy to search. And we recently have a new reporting feature enhancement. It's currently in beta. I provided the URL below. If you go to our demo or type in the URL and then add /reporting before the devices, you'll see a new menu pop up that gives you a quick report that you can also download as a CSV file. Keep in mind it's in beta. We're making improvements every day, but it's one of our latest enhancements to our dashboard. For more information on this, please watch last month's webinar on dashboard that you can find on our YouTube channel. Otherwise, the demo's there for you to see it in action. Dashboard is a great tool for getting inventory of your devices. While dashboard is great, perhaps sometimes you may need a little more information. So today we're going to look into the Robot Cloud admin area of our JAMF server software known as the JSS. As I mentioned earlier, our Robot Cloud is engined by the Casper suite. So here we're going to get detailed information on the device itself, maybe settings, performed enhanced searches, or gather device history and figure out what policies were perhaps recently run, and also share how you can store and recover file vault encryption keys. There's a lot of great and handy information behind the scenes, and with that, I'm going to hand over our presentation to Nathan to demo some of these amazing features that we hope you'll find valuable as you manage your clients with Robot Cloud.
Thanks, Kat.
No problem. So I'll be giving you the presentation in 1 second, Nathan.
As Kat had mentioned, and thanks again, everybody, for joining us today, Dashboard is an excellent tool, very user-friendly to just be able to quickly find information and check for alerts. So we're going to go ahead and demo an area of our Robot Cloud headquarters. As you can see, we have some devices here, a few servers and a few laptops and desktops. And I'm going to skip right over into our what we're calling the Robot Cloud database. Some of you that have used the Casper suite before might also know it as site access. So the first thing you're going to see, and if you are a current Robot Cloud subscriber, you likely received an email in the recent past regarding this site access setup. And with those credentials, you'd be able to go to the link that we provided. You'll see the screen here. And once you get that logged in, you're going to go into basically the back end of the JSS. Now, this is read-only access, and it allows you to view your devices for a deeper inventory than you may see in dashboard. Not going to be as user-friendly, but it is a wealth of knowledge, and in some cases, you might find you need something out of here. In other cases, you might just be looking to see what's going on. So in your site access area, you're going to have a saved search. It should be similar to this, the report site access, and ours is the FC corporate. You'll have your client name here, and then you simply go ahead and hit this view button here. That's going to pop you into your site access. Now, my screen is one of these wonderful 27-inch IMAX screens. So depending on what you're looking at, you're going to see all of these fields here, and there could be even more. Just depends on what you're looking at. So this is a handful of our devices, and this is your broad overview to be able to see a lot of information right off the bat, I guess, in a quick manner. So you're going to see a variety of things like the boot drive capacity, warranty, PO date. If you have multiple buildings, OSs, serial number is a great way to search for alerts if you're a Robot Cloud client. Model info, when you enrolled the Mac, good to know in case you're running into any issues with communication, along with your check-in, your last inventory update. Are you getting current data? Maybe you have multiple locations and your IP addresses are relevant. And in the end, as Kat mentioned, maybe you're using a file vault. It's a great encryption to protect your Macs. And you can see that quickly in here as we have, looks like Ben's laptop here is encrypted, and I believe the rest are likely desktops or not production machines. So if you were to click on one of these Macs, for example, this AST server, you're going to pop into the detailed inventory for this Mac. So this first inventory tab is going to have a whole bunch of information in here. Right off the bat, general is just your addresses, your check-in times, and so on. As long as it's managed, you're going to see that there. And then hardware, another great area to just get more knowledge on the Mac. So I'm going to try to briefly roll through some of this. There's plenty more info. We might not show it all here today, but I suggest that you hop into your own site access, again, if you're a Robot Cloud client, and check this all out. So as we roll down, you're going to get operating system, a little more basic area, but again, very important to keep things patched. You're going to have your user and location, and then as we hop down, purchasing, self-explanatory. When did you buy the Mac? How long is your warranty good for? Storage, great place to check on drives, and just if you have multiple drives, dashboard's great for a quick view. Maybe you want to get a little bit more in depth here with some of the information. Extension attributes. Now, this is going to be a real important area where any of the extended capabilities that Robot Cloud offers you, in addition to a JSS, this is where you're going to see a lot of that info. Now, we can put this info in other areas, but this is kind of the main catch-all for anything that's been added on there. So you can see we've got uptime in there and all these different tools and versions to make sure everything is up to date. Our antivirus check. We've even added DNS, and there's a handful of other really cool features that are coming out that Kat continues to email about. If you're doing disk encryptions, licensed software, if we've got, for example, this is an inventory and notifications only Mac, so you're only going to see a server on there. Applications, if you got profiles, certificates, package receipts, just a wealth of knowledge, not all that human readable, but a lot of information in there. So user accounts and so on down. To kind of keep moving here, we've got a actions machine, which is going to show you a lot more on the, and again, if you're a JSS, previous JSS Casper user, policies is probably a more familiar term here. But on the Robot Cloud side of things, we're talking about actions. So this second tab is management. So think of the first tab as inventory. It's our information on the machine. The second tab is management. It's, again, what are we looking to take action upon, as opposed to what information do we already have. So in here, you're going to see all of the policies, or actions as we call them, that you can run on that Mac. Some of these things are going to be automated actions if you've set up first run. Some of them are going to be manual actions that you may trigger. For example, call the doctor. And another good thing to note here is we've got all the command line triggers. Self-service, I think we've done a webinar on that recently as well, is a great tool for both end users and techs. However, if you're a command line fan and you like using terminal, SSH, Rapid Remote Desktop, so on, this is a great place to find any of these command line triggers to be able to remotely trigger these and to help your users behind the scenes without requiring to, cause extra downtime for them. Sometimes we can just give them something simple and say, hey, your Outlook database needs repair. Let's have you run a self-service. going to take a little while to run, and they can continue working while it's going. In other cases, maybe you need to just remotely go in there and install something for them. So one other area to mention in here quick, and we'll likely detail this in another webinar, is management commands. So on the Apple side of things with push notifications and management, we do have some nice features, including locking the computer and remote wipe and so on. Certainly something you would only take action on if you absolutely needed to. To skip one past here, right down here for File Vault 2. Now this Mac is not File Vault encrypted, but I'm going to go ahead and pick on Ben's Mac for just a second here. Under the Management tab, if you have File Vault in your environment, this is where you can gather your File Vault recovery key. As long as you have an authorized user that has File Vault access, you can go ahead and use that password. Let's say the user were to lose the password, you don't have a managed admin, maybe you just lost access to the computer. File Vault does an amazing job of protecting your data. This is a place where you can go in, get your File Vault recovery key, and go ahead and get access back to that Mac. Now, we're not going to click on that because we don't want to show everybody Ben's File Vault recovery key, but I'm going to go ahead and close that back. And that's a quick rundown of basically your policies, actions, and what you can, take action upon the Mac. You're also going to notice some smart groups that things are connected to. And again, primarily we're talking about the policies area here. The last item, I think, is the history side of things. So we have the information on the inventory, we have the what are we going to take action on with the management, and we have what has happened with the history. Now, policy logs, again, actions, is a great place to check what happened on the Mac. Has a Mac restarted recently and user was wondering what happened? Maybe we can track down an OS update. Was something updated recently and we're wondering about version? Do we need to check on a browser update, for example, Firefox or Chrome? They do this on such a regular basis. So right over here on the right, you're going to have the you're going to have the show buttons, which will allow you to go in and see the details on what happened. For example, script ran, we went ahead and updated Chrome. As we go down, let me get the big screen here. Apple software updates. For example, we went out, we checked the Apple updates, we downloaded these, we went and installed them, done. This one required a reset, so we went ahead and restarted that Mac. There's a wealth of knowledge in here, and anytime you're having problems or simply you just want to know what was going on, this is a great place to check that out. So I think that's my quick overview of our site access robot cloud database, and I think we are going to go ahead.
Hey, Nathan. Before we pass it back, I wanted to spend a few minutes in that area because we just had a recent example of someone called in and said their Mac had unexpectedly shut down or restarted, and the first place we went to verify that. Of course, we love to trust everything the customer tells us, but sometimes we have to verify that, is exactly where you were, and not only the history of what might have triggered that restart, but also how many times did it restart. And that's under, is it computer usage logs?
Yep.
Yeah.
Login, startup, shutdown. Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah, so in this case, what had happened was the user had an iMac that was logged in over the weekend, and they got that security update from Apple, which required a restart, but the Mac was unable to restart because of the login. And we encourage our clients to log out over the weekend so that those things can run, at least if you're running a desktop. But what was interesting is the impression that was given to us was that the Mac had restarted several times, when in fact it had only restarted once. And it was very clear exactly why it happened. And in fact, there was a dialog box that the client later admitted they probably didn't read and probably ignored. So just a great area to get more information on, as Nathan mentioned.
Nathan, thank you so much for the demo. So to quickly recap, we reviewed dashboard reporting. We reviewed inventory searching, gathering and recovering file vault keys, reviewed active policy or actions on the management side, and then an overview of policy logs in the history tab. I know we covered a lot, so now we're going to address any questions you have. Please feel free to type them in the questions queue, and we'll start addressing those. And it looks like first question I have is, can I create custom reports or searches? And Nathan, I'm going to ask you to help me out on answering some of these questions. Answer is yes, correct?
So off the bat with your site access, your Robot Cloud database, we create a report for you. We basically add the information that we have, for that default search. If you need additional searches, we can create those. I admit at this time you're unable to create your own, but you can perform searches for both Macs and applications, which is another way of searching through the information. But if you, for example, have an OS project ahead and maybe there's some additional info you're looking for, this is specifically for the broader view that we showed earlier where you saw a bunch of Macs listed. Now you will have a saved search with a wealth of knowledge there, but if there's something missing specifically from that search, we would have to create another one for you. But you can export that search, which I admit I skipped over that feature. I apologize. At the bottom of that first screen, there's
can we go back to Nathan's screen, Kat? You mind if I put him back as a presenter?
No problem.
Nathan, you ready? Okay. All right, I'll do that right here. And a lot of this information is in Dashboard, and now we have that export feature in Dashboard. But what we're really looking at here is if you need anything that's unique that we don't include in Dashboard that you need to run reports on, correct, Nathan?
Yes. So everything you see in this window here, if you were to hit this export, I'm just going to basically walk through it with you. You can get a CSV. You hit next. Computers is going to be your main option, and then you're going to hit next. Boom. It just downloaded a CSV with, it's going to just give you the name of that, and then you can go ahead and open that in a spreadsheet program, and you will have exported data out of the JSS to use as you need.
And that's really handy, especially like if you are the admin for your JSS or Robot Cloud and you need to determine maybe who needs upgrades. I do this a lot with our clients as well. Some people, may not have realized 5 years have gone by and then they've got a vintage computer. So it's really great to like organize that information, gather that information, and just make sure you're able to, properly support and get everyone what they need. And then next question I got, can I add more accounts to my site access?
I can go ahead and answer this one again, Kat.
Okay.
Yes, we can add any number of accounts that you would like within your site access, your Robot Cloud database. Again, because of the nature of read-only, this isn't something that we're going to be able to allow you to simply create. But if you want to send us an email, it's a really simple process for us to add other users. Think of it as this. We have a group created with all your permissions within the JSS that gives you access to that. We just need to create another username and password and connect it to that group, and you'll have access in a matter of, let's say, minutes. It just depends on when that email comes in.
Okay. Any other questions before we conclude today's presentation? Okay. Well, then that concludes today's presentation. Thank you again so much, everyone, for taking time to learn about Robot Cloud MDM. If you are interested in our services, would like to schedule a consultation, feel free to give us a call at the information provided or send me a note. My direct email is kat@forgetcomputers.com, but otherwise you can reach any of us at the info page. Thank you again. We appreciate your time, and we look forward to hearing from you all soon. Have a good day.